There are currently 5 missing members of a submersible owned by OceanGate, which provides trips down to see the wreckage of the Titanic on the ocean floor. Rescue teams have now heard underwater noises in the vicinity of where the vessel lost contact, as the clock is running out on oxygen for the trapped crew. In the midst of this tragedy, of which these men and their families are in our prayers, a clip from 2 years ago from the company's CEO, Stockton Rush, who appears to be trapped in the submersible himself, is resurfacing, no pun intended, in which he disparages white men with military backgrounds. Take a listen.
When I started the business, one of the things you'll find, there are other sub-operators out there, but they typically have gentlemen who are ex-military submariners, and you'll see a whole bunch of 50-year-old white guys. I wanted our team to be younger, to be inspirational, and I'm not going to inspire a 16-year-old to go pursue marine technology. But a 25-year-old, who's a sub-pilot or a platform operator, or one of our techs, can be inspirational.
And well, video now sadly has come out showing at least one female young woman. She looks about to be in her 20s with the crew working with OceanGate, and she was talking about how she was getting some of her other crew members to go to drag queen shows and all the rest. But what the CEO was saying, that's horrible. And now that these men, most of whom are wealthy, are trapped, the very same libs the CEO was trying to woo over and to pander to by parroting racist nonsense against white military guys are now wishing them dead, saying they deserve to die trapped and alone in the middle of the ocean, bolted into a 22-foot metal tube operated by a video game controller, and spitting on the very idea of their explorer spirit. But it doesn't have to be this way. Social change doesn't have to go just one way, to the left. It can be used to effectively baptize and evangelize society into a culture of life, instead of the pride, abortion, ending of fossil fuels, buying up of single-family homes to deny the middle class a way to accumulate generational wealth, and war that BlackRock and others like them promote. The alternative e-commerce application Public Square just announced a new program to give a $5,000 bonus to employees who have a baby or who adopt a baby, a repudiation of the companies and states which pay for women to travel to obtain abortions. Joining us now to discuss is Sean Carney, the president and CEO of 40 Days for Life. Sean, thanks for being here tonight.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me back.
Great. So how refreshing is it to see a CEO actually caring about their employees for basically the first time, it seems like?
Oh, I know. And just to have a connection, like you have a baby, you get a bonus. You know, the woke CEOs who are so disconnected, particularly from the women who work for them, who say, well, I'll pay for your abortion, like they're the loser high school boyfriend. Women, they'll find the money. It's the average woman tells one person before she has an abortion, and it's obviously the person who drives her. You think she's going to go into her HR director or her boss's office and say, hey, I need the $4,000 to go to California to have an abortion? They are so disconnected from the emotional side of the issue and the psychological side. They just want to, kind of posture. And it's so great when you look at some of these countries around the world, including Russia, even Russia and Italy and Germany, they're paying people to have multiple children. They're offering tax incentives for you're purchasing your first home because they're not going to have any kids. They have contracepted and aborted themselves out of existence, and they now realize it. Even China realizes it. And so to see these companies, I guess, do the positive side of it, I know, and you had so much in that opening, we're just so woke. We're just so tired of these woke companies. Like, I wish we could get back to the part where everybody cared about their bottom line. Like, make your product and sell us your stuff and leave us alone. And now all of these trainings on transgender tolerance and diversity and all this stuff, instead of training people to be good employees who work an honest day for a fair wage, we're doing all this crap. And I have been excited to see things like this. And I've also been excited to see basically the largest rejection of Pride Month we've had in a decade, which is shocking.
Yeah, even some companies like Starbucks really muting a lot of what we saw from years prior, where it was just so in your face. And as you're talking about, it's interesting. You see a lot
and they started it. That Starbucks is significance. Starbucks started this. That is what is so remarkable, is that they had the shareholders say, why in the world would we support gay marriage when half the country is against it? And their CEO stood up and said, some things are worth more than making coffee.